Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK 2019 Summer. It is the final day of the regular season, and I have an update for you. Brendan and Chris, or Papa Smithy and Valdez, are still alive after last night's heroic effort. They remain ready to go for the future weeks. However, they have a well-deserved day off here today. I'm Atlas. This is LS, who has, he read the script yesterday.
I did.
And decided to intentionally fall ill on that day, and it was arguably a very intelligent move.
Yeah, Papa, he didn't know.
Wow. That's sometimes you roll the dice and it works pretty well for you there, LS. But we could have a marathon here tonight as well. We have tiebreaker potential. GenG are able to take down DAMWON in 2-1 fashion. Then they will have to play a tiebreaker match against the FLICKR Freaks for that 5th place and the last playoff seed. What was that?
Nothing.
Are you leaking the script again?
Absolutely not.
You guys, you better hold him accountable for this. And then, actually today, we have implications absolutely everywhere. Every team is playing for something. DAMWON have possibility of locking down 1st place if they win and Griffin loses. As you can see, they are 1st or 2nd, either DAMWON or Griffin. And then GenG fighting to keep any sort of playoff dream alive. A 2-0 will guarantee their playoff berth and will knock down the FLICKR Freaks. But as you can see in the game score, if GenG are only able to get 1 point, then we're going to need to play that tiebreaker and Hanwha Life, due to the fact that KT won against Kingzone yesterday in what was the most ridiculous 3-game series we've seen in a very long time. They are now playing to try and make it out of this promotion tournament that will be going on in a few weeks' time. So man, there is just implication after implication here today for the final day of the LCK. And you can understand why. We've had the most chaotic LCK that we've had in a very, very long time. And it's now all having to be resolved. First off, though, it will be DAMWON Gaming against GenG, and DAMWON coming off a pretty emphatic victory, looking like favorites by a large margin heading into this matchup against GenG, despite the fact that GenG did fall to were able to take down DAMWON earlier in the season.
Yeah, and taking a look at some of the points of the match, DAMWON Gaming wants to grab the 1st place chance versus GenG wants to grab the final playoff ticket, as you already just mentioned.
Yep.
DWG Gaming wins a FLICKR lock-in the wildcard series, and if Griffin loses the next series, DWG Gaming ends up on the 1st place. If GenG wins 2-0, locks in the wildcard series 2-1, they'll have to play a tiebreaker. I think that you were the one maybe looking at the script here, Atlas. I'm not...
I mean, we do have a potential for 7 games tonight.
All right. Well, which one of the GenG mid laners will face you again, ShowMaker, Kuzan, Fly, or Rich? And we actually already know, as it has been tweeted out on Twitter, that it will be Fly.
Indeed. He's made his way back. His last outing, not so great
Right.
on the Lissandra. But Rich certainly had his up and downs as well. Wasn't quite able to keep up in the farming department. Against CuVee, that was CuVee's debut for the season, Jace game, where he was extraordinarily far ahead. But we'll see whether Rich does poke his head out towards the next couple of games, if there are a couple to be played. Having a look down the line at the stats, I really do like this from DAMWON, sort of illustrating the goal difference at 15 in comparison to 30 minutes, because DAMWON have been able to play explosive mid-games very, very well. And it's been about whether or not Canyon can get themselves to a decent position around that time as to whether they've been winning, which is why he is so far up on the MVP standings. It feels like DAMWON do rely on their jungler to be in form in order to make things happen, especially around their powerful solo lanes that Canyon can take advantage of.
And one of the things that I'm going to be curious about for GenG's matches, what specifically is causing Fly to come out here? I know that there's been quite a lot of rumors surrounding several accounts on the Korean ladder right now in Challenger, all of which are playing very unusual champions, some of which have been credited
to be Fly?
To being Fly. So,
I mean,
I'm looking forward to seeing if one of those unusual champion picks maybe comes out here today.
Maybe an homage to Pantheon, because we haven't got the remake just yet.
No.
Old Pantheon? No. He was spamming it for a little while. We wanted to see it.
All right, so.
All right, sorry, you read the script. I don't know it. As we're checking out some of the highlights here. DWG Gaming's 2-0 this engage was just amazing, especially from a communication standpoint. DWG Gaming just looked like they were the team that had the coordination on this day, and they decided that they would win. That was how it felt.
Then in the next highlights here, for GenG, this was Kiana coming out of left field.
Oh, okay. This wasn't when King was able to kill Rich. This was the time when Rich was able to get there, because we recently saw the FLICKR highlights and it looked very similar.
And this was GenG actually stealing the Baron. Otherwise, this series, it would have gone very different.
Yeah.
Had that Baron steal not come in. The game dragged on for an extremely long time. And realistically, FLICKR, they kept getting the better end of some of the fights. And Rich was doing a phenomenal job on the Kiana.
Yeah. I really like how he plays it as well. Sort of plays it as this lurking assassin that just 100 zeros whoever walks past him. This is going to be our highlighted matchup, though, Nuguri versus CuVee. And we'll see the form that Nuguri is in today. Certainly some question marks as to his mental fortitude. We all know that he is a mechanical god of the top lane, but can he keep it together mentally is the big question here moving into playoffs and those high-stakes games. There is a guarantee that we are going to see Nuguri in a best-of-5, and how it's going to go is going to be a big question. Does have experience, of course, played a few best-of-5s in his time, but weren't able to get past in the playoffs in spring, nor in the Kesper Cup earlier on as well. So they were able to knock down SKT in the Kesper Cup, but weren't able to actually take the title against Griffin. So let's see what they can do moving ahead in our final match and our final day of the regular season here of Summer 2019. On our blue side, it will be DWG Gaming. And as you can see, no changes as far as the roster is concerned. No Flame. Nuguri is there. That's why we highlighted the matchup. And I just want to see whether ShowMaker is going to get his Akali or not. Akali has been such a huge pick over the last few days. Really has been flavor of the week so far. Hasn't been seeing as many bans as it did the week prior. And ShowMaker is the man that really knows how to make that champion look busted.
Yeah. Coming out here tonight, DWG Gaming, everyone is going to assume that they have the upper hand. They're going to have the upper edge. But like I was alluding to earlier, there has to be some sort of a reason that Fly is playing here today. And the only thing that I can theorize is that it would be something unconventional.
Yep.
Also, GenG, they're starting on the red side, so they will have counter pick available.
Yep, counter pick options. They might use that for the mid lane, potentially. Certainly a lot of options when it comes to counter pick for this particular team, because CuVee as well does like to be able to get onto some of his more comfortable champions that can find themselves susceptible to counter picks. So it might be that CuVee gets that option as well, but this is your GenG roster. See whether Peanut is going to be able to get things done early. I don't know whether the challenge will necessarily be there like one of our other more high-pressure junglers. I mean, we saw Dread putting on a clinic on his Kindred, which was super fun a couple of days ago. That's not necessarily what the Canyon matchup does.
Right.
Canyon a little bit slower in the earlier stages of the game, which is why you see that DWG don't necessarily have huge gold leads coming into around the 15-minute mark, but are then able to stabilize. That is largely playing into the GenG playstyle.
Yeah, it definitely is. And so when we jump into ban pick, we'll have to see how both teams are going to try to attack this, as this is do or die for GenG. Can't emphasize this enough.
I do want to talk about MVP just a little bit as well, because DAMWON have a couple of players that are able to peak at that top spot. Currently, the standings are Canyon and Summit tied for first place on 900 points. And then on Fleek, ShowMaker and Keen behind them on 800 points. So ShowMaker or Canyon could be outright first after this series. So let's see who's going to pop off today, whether we can have a solo MVP almost confirmed at this stage. There is a chance, I believe, I'm having a look down the list, and nope. In fact, we will have it confirmed after this if Canyon or ShowMaker are going to be able to pick up some MVPs here. But we are into ban and pick, and there's a lot of ranged champions that have been taken down, but the Akali isn't one. The Akali is an understandable ShowMaker ban, and Last time we saw him play, he managed to get the Akali, and he looked absolutely disgusting, and I made the statement on broadcast that we would never see it again. And so far, so good.
With Ezreal, Xayah, and Karma being banned away, definitely some focus against Ruler. As GenG, they're going to have to decide on what their last ban is going to be. It will be the Jace against Nuguri.
Yeah. I do like the Jace ban. Of course, ShowMaker has played it before as well, so going to get rid of that flexibility option. And the Sejuani picked away from Peanut, and Canyon has been going to it more and more. Peanut thinking about his counter pick, and the Sylas has been the one that people have been going to. The Trundle really has sort of fallen off as the answer to Sejuani in favor of the Sylas. Might change, of course, in the next patch, given the change to Sylas coming in. Not there just yet.
End up hovering and locking in a Kai'Sa. And so with Corki and Ezreal and whatnot already banned away, the Kai'Sa still is effective against the likes of an Azir that could end up being picked up.
DAMWON certainly with a lot of flexibility here. They could just go for the bottom lane, and that is what they're going to do. Nuclear and BeryL going to head towards the Varus Tahm Kench. A lot of safety and a lot of lane power, and I like it, especially after you've seen the Kai'Sa and understand that you should be able to leverage that lane relatively well. DAMWON not giving anything away, though, with those couple of picks. Still a hell of a lot of flexibility in this composition, which I think is what you need when you've got the hipster of the mid lane back in. I believe last time these two teams played as well, it wasn't Fly, it was Kuzan. It was the time of Kuzan right there, and GenG really getting their most recent boost of success after Fly made his debut and was playing things like the Veigar. The Yuumi has been locked in though, Life, fantastic Yuumi player, and if you can give agency to a bottom lane like Ruler and Life, especially this season, that sounds like a great idea. And this all of a sudden went from DAMWON having some power down there to really going to have to stand up and respect the Kai'Sa Yuumi damage potential.
And
I love it, we're getting Veigar bans. The dream.
Getting a Veigar ban. So they're definitely respecting some of the unorthodox picks that Fly is maybe capable of.
And Fly, of course, has been notorious for having a shallow, effective champion pool. Does have a wide array of champions that he plays, but as far as getting to that mastery level, I mean, last season it was basically I can play Lissandra. You know?
Right.
Like, he does have a few struggles when it comes to finding effective champions, and Veigar has been his most effective. For GenG.
Last one will be Kennen. And so we'll see what GenG is going to basically say here with this pick. It could be revealing the top laner, or the mid laner, or even the jungler, but it will be Gangplank. And with Jace and Kennen both banned away, there's basically no champions that really give Gangplank any issue up there in top lane. It's also going to be pretty comfortable for CuVee.
Yeah, a lot of champions actually being banned away here, as Nuguri does have a wide array of picks that he can go towards. We'll see where he's going to decide. Aatrox can be a pretty standard one. Can also be an okay matchup for the GP, especially early on, as we've seen. Oh, ShowMaker, please, God, do it.
Ooh.
I'm okay with Qiyana as well. It certainly seems like a ShowMaker fit. Renekton would be a boring choice, and the Ryze also.
Ryze.
So, not going to get any fun. It's the Katarina Hover, just playing with our hearts. Of course, guys, if you don't necessarily know what we're talking about, ShowMaker was the Katarina one-trick before he started playing for DAMWON. As this is a Fly champion.
Oh, there it is.
Gets locked in. No Azirs required. He's just going to play Vel'Koz into a low-range mange matchup so he can just stand out of the way. This could be interesting, though. Nuguri, thinking about the Ryze top lane, has historically been a matchup into Gangplank that we've spoken about, but the change to Ryze makes it really difficult to explain these matchups in a historical context. Do you know anything about how this matchup goes since the Ryze rework?
It's a lot better for Gangplank than it was previously. And it's still going to come down to what it just happens pre-level 6. If Gangplank just gets to coast by, then it's Gangplank getting to coast by. With all of the long range an AoE on the side of GenG in the later stages of the game, DAMWON Gaming, the Tahm Kench, the Sejuani, they don't really do anything. And so GenG, in a pretty weird turn of events, they have such more massive late-game scaling potential. And they have champions that make it really difficult for DAMWONs to try to do what they want. So I feel like this is one of those drafts, Atlas, where I come out of ban pick, and unless something goes catastrophic early, DWG Gaming, they're going to have to outplay GenG so hard in the later stages.
And also, I love there's a beauty to this draft as well, because DWG are going to have to play perfect DWG League of Legends, because they play around mid-game power spikes, and that's exactly what this composition does. You get picks in the mid-game, you turn it into team fights with Aatrox bouncing around, healing himself up forever, and you hope to God that you never get to late-game Kai'Sa Gangplank and all of those problems and shenanigans, especially with the Vel'Koz hanging around. As you can see, we have a pause to start things off, a bit of an homage to yesterday's fun times experienced by Brendan Valdez and Christopher Smith.
I feel like I've been lied to.
I wonder whether we're going to have to chrono break the first 2 seconds of the game. I'm not entirely sure what has actually happened here just yet, but if you guys are getting flashbacks to last night, I just want to say thank you for sticking around for that entire escapade. Looks like we're getting in there, though. I can hear Caster's song in the background as here we are, game number 1. My God, the GenG fans are so loud in this beautiful afternoon in Lowell Park. The cheers, the screams, we know that GenG just has so many fans. And also Peanut has so many fans.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what team he's on. As we're going to check out what's going to happen in this level 1 so far. We've got Life already sweeping things out.
So Vel'Koz, he picks himself up that ward kill. I mean, we can just wrap it up from here.
Yep, that is an insurmountable lead.
Yeah, the game's...
You can't quite see it as far as the gold count is concerned, but it means more than that.
Yeah, it can't even be recovered.
And also, Canyon is playing the piggy bank skin, which...
that means he's going to feed.
Well, the thing is, he either feeds or collects money. And
I'm a fan of the latter.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the better way to do it, right? And we've got to see which kind of piggy we're going to get here. I actually love that skin. I think it's adorable. I think there's...
You don't like the Poro?
I love the Poro skin, but everyone uses it, right? And I think the piggy bank's good too. It's got to have its time in the sun. ShowMaker back on the Aatrox one more time. He only played it once, and as you can see, it was a loss.
Well, Aatrox here in the mid lane with the Electrocute and Teleport. As Canyon a little bit slow there on the Raptor clear. He's going to also transition immediately over to the left-hand side jungle, so not to maybe be attacked by some aggressive route that Peanut could try to aim for on the Sylas, but looks like Peanut is content on just doing a rather traditional clear. He's going to move all the way up now into the Golems.
Yeah. It's going to be a fast level 3 to come out from the Sylas. We'll see whether he utilizes that to try and punish Nuguri, who is notorious for overextending. Prowling projectile on the bottom side. We mentioned the fact that this could be a pretty dangerous lane. I mean, you see the Kai'Sa pick and you think Varus Tahm Kench is going to be a lane that's going to survive very well and also be able to put on pressure. And then the Yuumi comes in and it becomes a little bit more of a different story. The ShowMaker here should be struggling in this lane also. Back timing for Peanut is pretty low in the jungle. That's the problem with Sylas at the moment.
The Scorch on Rise, a little bit of a feels bad man moment, if I do say so myself, Atlas.
Actually, it plays into what you were talking about earlier on, though, is this is a mid-game comp that needs to get things done
needs to get ahead
early,
yep.
So you're not really going to be glacial storming, you know? There's the flash forward. Nuguri looking for it here as CuVee does get the grass proc, runs underneath the turret. They're looking to dive, but they're not going to be able to. Flash for flash, top laner's flash for top laner's flash. Canyon not able to get the kill, but they'll take the trade.
That's a really big blunder there by Canyon. That looked pretty free.
It did.
That was like, you know when you go to the dentist as a kid and they give you like a free lollipop after or something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Which is kind of weird because why are they giving you a lollipop? It's like...
Yeah, it's pretty...
it's
well, it's because they want you to come back and spend more money at the dentist.
That makes a lot of sense, Alex. Thank you for covering that for me. Yeah. But definitely a little bit of a savant as CuVee. He has a beautiful lane state right now. We know that Nuguri is just going to TP back onto this. Doesn't look like he is intent on holding the freeze as the Silas is on the other side of the map. But Canyon blundering on that kill really hurts the current top lane state.
Especially when it's DAMWON that wants to be making these early moves and getting themselves into a decent mid-game situation. Having a look bottom side, you can see already some back timings to come in from both of our bottom lanes. Varus, Tahm, Kench making their way back now. No teleport actually utilized. And it's interesting that Ruler hasn't decided to go with the teleport as well, really respecting the Chains of Corruption on the bottom side. Has that cleanse, because you do get double value out of teleport if you have a Yuumi who can just come with you. But I do like it. Extra summoner spells for any engages, and does show that GenG will be able to play a little bit more aggressive down here and use this as a point of power. And I like GenG playing around the Ruler win condition, because Ruler is very good at League of Legends, and you may as well play around someone that's very, very good at League of Legends. Helps you win.
Yeah.
It's my high-level analysis.
That is quite...
If someone's good, let them be good.
I am looking for some coaching.
Yeah, well, I mean...
That's the kind of analysis I'm looking for.
Thanks, man. I assume you're definitely not being sarcastic.
All right, well, in this game, Call is actually on both of the members of GenG. Ruler has it, and CuVee has it up there.
Yep.
So they are feeling very comfortable right now, and Canyon, he's not finding anything.
No, this
in
piggy
a
bank
lot of
is
these
pretty
attempts.
empty right now.
This is a very sad piggy.
But do you know who's happy? Nuguri's happy.
I'm not
Look at
sure.
how many sapphires this dude has. He is just, he wants to go the multiple tiers build. He wants to go the multi-tiers build, but he's really upset that you can't actually do that anymore. So he's got just the sapphire crystals to get there.
Oh,
Nuguri.
Well,
Life looking pretty comfortable down here on the bottom side. The minion wave coming in. Not going to be ganked. The piggy has moved back towards the wolf camp, so is going to take Agatha and then move to somewhere else on the map. We'll see where he's going to challenge, whether it is going to be heading back towards CuVee, who now does not have the flash, even though the lane state is looking okay here for the gangplank, despite the health bar looking a little worse for wear.
The sapphire crystals are really weird. I've never seen that before. I'll be completely honest with you.
I know where they're going, but I mean, it's one per completed item, isn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. There's two in the Archangel stuff, and then there's one in the Rod of Ages, right?
Do you think that blue is his house with a blue little window?
Yeah.
And a blue Corvette? Okay. And everything is blue for him?
Yeah.
Blue Dabadita?
Yeah, Dabadai. Did you think that they said if I was green I would die? It's okay. Fly's going to try and turn it around.
Ooh.
The download is complete, but not able to have the disintegration ray last long enough to take out ShowMaker. Decent trade here in the mid lane, but ShowMaker once again finds himself with a CS advantage in a melee versus range matchup. I don't know how he did this against FLICKR. FLICKR, of course, playing the Karma into the Akali matchup against ShowMaker, and ShowMaker still able to stay ahead by about 10 CS, despite the laning phase being relatively calm. Geometry flying in, the flash is going to come out there as Peanut doesn't find his hijacked Glacial Prison. But that is a flash for nothing, or a flash for ultimate, I guess, in the mid lane. And so GenG going to be very happy about that one.
And what GenG is probably not all that happy about is the pressure up in top lane. CuVee, he's down 16 CS right now. He's also down in turret plate, likely to lose the next one. And Nuguri is just doing fantastic work up there.
He's pushing so hard.
Yeah.
He really does not care about what Peanut might be doing here. Peanut yet to make his way over there, but is moving in now as CuVee gets the 1-2 punch. As soon as that flux does get applied, it does make things a little bit more difficult, as we're going to have a little bit of a pause Not sure what this one's about, as we will get some word pretty soon as to who's having the issues. Does look like Nuclear. Struggling with something, not entirely sure what it is just yet. We weren't peering down towards the bottom lane at that point. Frame rate issue looks to be the case here for Nuclear.
Those actually feel really bad.
Oh, yeah.
You ever experienced them?
Yes. Bad news. Have you had the problem where you alt-tab, and you know how when you alt-tab, the frame rate goes down low, but if you tab back again, it doesn't boost the frame rate back up again?
Yeah, that
and so you're
really
playing
bad.
like slideshow mode? Yeah, it's really, really annoying. I'll shave if GenG wins.
Is that Bjergsen?
I'm not sure. I'll shave him.
I'll shave him for her.
Well, I guess we don't really know.
Yeah.
But, okay. I'll shave if GenG wins.
Okay.
Should I shave if GenG wins?
I think you should.
All right. I mean, I got a guaranteed beard that we know about currently.
Should I shave?
Well, I mean, what are we shaving? Eyebrows? Getting rid of the eyebrows there, mate? I mean, we're lacking any other hair on the face.
I saw someone actually with shaven eyebrows recently. I don't recall where. It was on the subway.
Isn't it a thing to shave your eyebrows and get them tattooed on?
You can do that, or you can use makeup.
Yeah.
But this was a guy.
Okay.
So.
It's kind of cool, I guess. Is that a minion? Aww. That's an adorable bear.
Oh, these are very cute.
Nuna Wait, which is play on words, I think, of Nuguri. That last one is, oh, that corgi is so cute.
They're calling
Tanner
it
looking so adorable.
Crazy Shorky. So like Showmaker Corky.
Uh-huh.
But
I get
that's
it.
the sign's mistaken. That is Tanner.
Yeah.
And his human pet.
I learnt about this.
You did.
I saw someone talking about Peanut MLXG there, which was strange. Oh, I like the fringe going over the
You like that?
over the thing. Yeah, it's cool.
If GenG loses,
I'll shave.
I'll cry on the ground, hitting the ground.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's the classic moment in the movie, you know, that drama moment. Okay, I believed you, Hyosu. ShowMaker's Korean name there in the middle. And look, honestly, believing in DAMWON Gaming seems like a relatively intelligent decision, as there's a boom going above our head.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Wait.
That.
Does that mean that we're... I'm a bit perplexed. There's a scary
Why is it?
We're double cammering up here, and I'm nervous. I don't know what this means.
Like this is something from the future.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried.
What is going on?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Oh, thanks, Maxie. That's a nah. Maybe a CuVee fan. Because he's our resident Nah player.
Gnar is...
That's a really adorable Mega Gnar. I like it.
You know what you just reminded me of? They don't have a winter Gnar at the LOL shop.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to have another rant about the
There's still no
merch
Pengu.
store?
I was there. Alright? Every week.
If GenG doesn't give up, GenG fans don't give up too. I mean, you'd hope so. I'm certainly hoping that GenG doesn't
that's the
give
Korean
up.
hand symbol for love.
Yeah, the
heart.
Korean heart. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. DAMWON go for Warwick? WW? Win-win. Got it. Sorry, it says
Win-win, not
win.
Warwick.
I see WW and I'm like, Warwick?
That's my home city.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Wow. I knew you were
Yeah.
born in Rhode Island. I didn't know that it was in Warwick.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's always actually weird when I hear the champion name.
Now you're a professional pronouncer of champion names.
Absolutely.
Warwick versus Warwick.
Ooh.
Which is actually correct.
I think if you're from Warwick, then it would be Warwick. Right?
Because otherwise it's confusing.
You gotta get the Boston accent in there, right?
The Boston accent. Okay.
You know.
I love the Boston accent. I think it's one of my favorites. When it comes like
Park the car. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta
Gotta get a cup of coffee. Coffee, man.
cup of coffee. Oh, man.
All right, Nuguri.
Oh!
Gets interrupted with the abscond. Flash invested here as Cannon Barrage will guarantee the kill. Peanut locks it down and first blood is there. ShowMaker's turned up though, looking for the extra damage. That was so sexy, but Peanut still in trouble. ShowMaker wants an Umbral Dash, will find it, as I don't think that's going to be enough. Peanut makes it to the brush, but is going to then be transferred directly to the Death Chamber.
And that was a really nice salvage of that situation up there by ShowMaker on the Aatrox as we pan back down into bottom lane. And the Kai'Sa's doing just fine.
Yeah. Kai'Sa's doing great guns here on the bottom side. As my father would say, great guns I think is a bit of an old reference, but means good, as Ruler and Life do have a fair bit of power added with the Yuumi being picked up.
Let's take a look at how this all actually transpires. Nuguri just doesn't seem to suspect that Peanut could be up here. Now, the interesting thing is if they just run south, they're going to run into Canyon. So they try to turn around, but it was at that point Peanut basically just said, you know what, leave me.
Yep.
I'm dead anyway.
He did get a control ward into that brush though, that was cool.
He did.
Yeah, nailed it. Got to use your time efficiently, and he did so. But I do want to say that the fadeaway of the second Q was real cool from ShowMaker, showing that he certainly does still have it on the Aatrox. Having a look, he does still have a 12 CS advantage as well. Not sure how he does this on champions like Aatrox or Akali when you can have a difficult time against range matchups, but he does it. Never mind. He's just good at playing the agricultural game of League of Legends.
Well, down in bottom lane right now, quite a large minion wave built up. It looks like they're going to use this to convert into the capture of a Mountain Dragon.
Feels pretty good if you're DAMWON, who plays around mid-game Baron takes pretty effectively. They're going to very simply take this one down. This is the first lethal tempo Varus we've had in a while. There's been so many lethality Varuses picked up by multiple people. Songyun and Deft recently playing that one. We'll be seeing Songyun in our next series as Fly throws some geometry at ShowMaker, but that back being stopped is frustrating for the Vel'Koz.
Peanut going to go back to his own jungle right now, as with the next dragon of the game being a Clown Dragon. Not all that beneficial for either of these teams. Suppose it will help out the Aatrox and the Sejuani a little bit. However, DAMWON, they're going to pick themselves up this Herald.
Is this just straight free?
Yeah, this is completely free.
Yeah, Peanut not even going to check it. A little bit late on the maneuver. As you can see, Ruler and Life, they are over there, but Fly comes over, gets the bad news before he hits the Scryer's Bloom, as BeryL just going to teleport with his Unsealed Spellbook. And this is the crazy thing, is that GenG has one teleport in comparison to DAMWON's theoretical 4 that they could have.
Well,
that's a lot of extra global mobility. Yeah, we're going to get some plates. Nuguri grabs all of the money for it as well, and they'll take the last plate
turret,
and the first turret blood and give some of that money over to Canyon. This rise is hella accelerated.
So sorry, guys.
Did you just think of hella accelerated?
I don't.
What,
I wasn't
okay?
expecting the hella.
Yeah, you weren't? I'm bringing it back. Don't you knee slap me.
Alright, well.
Nuguri's got a lot of items. He's got Archangel stuff and the Catalyst.
And the Catalyst already.
That was the completion that he went back for.
He is doing quite well on this rise so far. As elsewhere across the map now, remember, even though GenG, they're down 1.2k gold, their team composition doesn't come online until the much later stages of the game. And so both of the calls are about to be completed.
Yep.
And then after they sell back that, they'll end up profiting in the items. And for the most part, I mean, you see Fly's mid-tier 1 turret, it's almost completely at full HP. Yep. So GenG, they're not in a bad spot in this game. The Gangplank is going to keep ramping up. Sylas will keep ramping up. Kai'Sa and Vel'Koz, they're all just going to keep getting stronger. And with Herald already having been taken and used, without another good dragon coming up, DWG Gaming, they're going to have to rely on the one Mountain Drake to help them against Barons.
And they also are going to be relying on this Rise to get some work done as well. The investment in him has been high. That's where all of that extra money is. It's in Nuguri, who just steals away the enemy red buff just because he can. Goes back to his blue buff also and takes that one away, as the minion wave is a little bit too far away. As Canyon moves on over, control ward going to be taken here. ShowMaker doesn't find the first knock-up. They're just going to battle over Bertha. And Peanut is going to steal the gold from her pockets.
Well, turret plates have all fallen at this stage of the game. Nice.
Final chapter does come down immediately. We do have BeryL throwing in the Devour, the Regurgitate there also, is now Peanut looking for it. Ruler dives on in, but BeryL does have himself the stopwatch. Eventually falls, but now we've got more teleports. Peanut going down very low. Nuclear, a lot of damage now as Life wants to you and me over to Ruler.
Oh.
Can't get there though, midair. Canyon's gonna smack him down, and there's a Realm Warp coming in. Ruler has to flash. Nuguri gets after him, even lays down the Flux to get the snare, and the Rise is able to help lock down that kill for Nuclear.
And now they're definitely going to be able to get the bottom tier 1 turret. There's not going to be a teleport that can come in to give any assistance. Fly, he's down in XP, by the way. ShowMaker already level 12. Not sure how deep he is into level 12, but
well,
now
he has
bottom,
a 22 CS advantage.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes you can be a part of XP without getting the CS.
It's true. I'm going to trade some spells here in the mid lane.
Oh man, he's 12 and a half.
Yeah, let's can we have a look at Fly? No, we can't. We're going to have a look at this replay instead, as I thought this was a bit silly from the DWG bottom lane. They knew that Silas was in the area.
Yeah.
The insta-cleanse was really nice, but I think it was all a bait.
Canyon, he's coming down right there. Thick skin comes out. It is pretty thick.
Oh yeah.
Stopwatch just holding them around for the exact amount of time necessary for Nuguri to finish his teleport, get in here, and then Life
you
taken
and me
away.
Cooldown. That's the nerf right there. Bad news bears, as Ruler has to flash, but Nuguri, he knows how to press that button also. Comes on over the application first, which is how you get the snare these days on the Rise. There's no just press W and everything's fine. As Peanut steals another prison from the piggy bank. Okay, Ruler taking way too much damage and is just going to die. Killer Instinct not enough at all, as Nuguri's going to get knocked up. Tries to offer damage back, but he's going to get taken down. BeryL once again has to eat the Grey Health, and ShowMaker has turned up. Tom Kench still alive. Peanut flashes eventually as CuVee also has to use his. So many summoner spells down. Only Fly with his flash left, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 in the end.
And now when they are repelled, when they're down on summoner spells, it is pretty difficult for the DWG Gaming team comp to keep pushing on.
This is getting a bit explosive, though, around this mid-game. 2.5k is the lead currently for DWG Gaming, but GenG are going to be totally okay with that. Another one of these scaling stories that we've spoken about in the past. As that was just a flash chains corruption that murdered Ruler so effectively. But getting hit by that knockup is just bad news. It's not what you want.
No?
No.
Well, BeryL, very low HP, able to make it out right there as everything was repelled by GenG. And so, if we look at this game in a freeze frame, it's only 2.1, 2.2 thousand gold advantage for DAMWON. That's not large enough, all things considered, when trying to judge the scaling of the GenG team composition and what it's able to do in the later stages. So they're still going to need to look to capture vision and find a mistake of GenG and punish it effectively, convert it into the Baron in order to close out the game. That's ultimately going to be their test.
ShowMaker's World Ender comes down. CuVee having to get out of there. Cannon Barrage is in. Canyon, though, he's boosting it. You can see that Cloud Drake doing some work as ShowMaker locks down that kill. Even able to give the Sejuani an assist on the end of that one. Pretty comfortable. 1v1 into slight assist from the Sejuani. Good positioning there from ShowMaker. Okay. Good work there, Ruler, just spotting out that there is a pig heading around your jungle. This red buff should be belonging to DAMWON. They had the timer, of course. Nuguri was the one that took the last one. Seraph's Embrace is complete, and 3 stacks now on the Rod of Ages. 26 minutes, going to be a pretty good time for DAMWON, as the Rise will be well and truly at his power spike.
Well,
take it all back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite a spike.
It's going to be a big one. As
CuVee,
ShowMaker.
yeah, ShowMaker comes in here. CuVee is just way too far up in the lane. There's no reason for him to be CSing this far away from his turret without having any proper vision around, and so ShowMaker able to pick up a relatively free kill. DAMWON are definitely in the lead right now, and so GenG, they're going to have to find ways to stabilize.
Now the question that I have for you is, what is a lead that is actually comfortable enough for DAMWON to make it look like they are actually going to win the game and can get past the scaling potential of GenG? What kind of number are we looking for at the top of the screen?
I think right now would probably be about 6K at 20 minutes.
Yep.
Because the Vel'Koz just has such good wave clear combined with the Gangplank, you can't really push anything. And so if you had around 2 core items on primary carries above the opponent, and we're able to just ignore any defensive play of GenG, that would be fine. In the later stages, this is going to end up producing, I believe it was you and I that cast the game, where I mentioned, like, I think it was Jin Air, right? I said they could be 9K behind.
Yep.
And still even. I would say that this is pretty similar territory.
Similar level?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not quite lethality Varus, so it's still lethal tempo means a lot more DPS potential of this build of the Varus, but I certainly see where you're coming from. This is a game where DAMWON do need to accelerate themselves, and Nuguri is starting off pretty well in that department. Currently 45 CS in the lead at 21 minutes. That ain't bad. As this siege isn't working, and this is exactly what you're talking about, LS, not being able to stall the state of the game
now,
as GenG.
Imagine if
Whoa.
freezes.
I was going to say, are we going to talk about your newest video? Is that what you're doing a bit of a shout out for there?
All right.
Okay. Insta cleanse there from BeryL. Glacial Augment getting a little bit of work done there, but Glacial Prison going to be successful from Peanut, the hijacked variety.
So in a spot like this, they're endlessly playing ping pong in mid, okay? What if Rise just doesn't push this wave?
Okay, I don't know.
And
the final chapter is being read. Yeah, exactly. That's a disintegration ray, but BeryL does have the thick skin. Cannon Barrage doing absolutely nothing. His life is going to pick up the kill somehow after taking a ride on the Killer Instinct. Nuguri says that fight was not worth my time. There are minions to be taken on the bottom side of the map in a non-frozen lane. And now it's going to be just pushing towards that inner turret. CuVee going to bounce it back. Looks to stop the back, but isn't going to be able to. And misses a cannon creep. Nicely done.
Ooh, I like the cameraman. The BM right there, the mini zoom in.
Yep. Whoa. Missed cannon.
Right, so, I mean, at this stage of the game, that mid-fight is the exact kind of thing that DAMWON can't afford. So, had Rise taken the wave that GP gave him, sat down in bottom and said, okay, you guys can try to scale, but you're going to do so down an entire lane worth of minions, it pulls GenG out of their defensive fortification and demands that they respond to something. Instead, we got the ping pong in mid, and a team fight ends up ensuing over no real neutral objective or purpose. And because of this, the wave clear on GenG, the AoE long range, the slows, it all comes out. Doesn't matter about DAMWON's gold advantage.
Yeah.
They can't do anything with it because of the fundamental makeup of the team comps.
That being said, they are going to be able to take the third dragon of the game. Oh my goodness, there is another cloud coming after this. That is going to be some moving fast. Here from DAMWON.
Gotta go quick.
Yep.
When's the new Sonic come out?
Ooh, I don't know. Wait, the new Sonic game or movie?
Movie.
I have no idea. Is that the next one that we're going to go and see?
We're going to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a confusing way of talking about it. But we're going to go see the movie It, guys. Peanut is going to see BeryL in the mid lane. This time, Kench has been taking a beating so far this game, but doesn't have to eat Grey Health this time around. And GenG press a lot of buttons and get very little value from it.
And we have ping pong in bot lane.
Yeah. The way I like to describe the use of a freeze in a game like this is the artificial creation of a neutral objective, basically. So that's what LS was referring to. Create a situation where if GenG doesn't do something, then DAMWON just capitalizes and wins. As Canyon moves on over, that control ward is going to spot him out there as ShowMaker turns up to try and take this red buff for the 3rd time in a row, actually, as Fly doesn't want that to happen. Tectonic Disruption gets some work done, and Peanut has his finger on the smite button. Love it. As ShowMaker has to walk away without that red buff available. DAMWON make their way back in yet again to the ARAM scenario as CuVee comes on over and clears out a ward, but isn't exactly in position to clear this one up as there's the Glacial Prison. Lands onto ShowMaker. Peanut down to half health though, as BeryL has had some fantastic devours so far this game. Fly just takes him down there. Peanut very low, but does stopwatch. Flashes, gets himself out. Fly somehow going to survive as well. The burst damage was huge, but damn, life just keeping everyone alive.
And this is what GenG just have to keep doing over and over and over, because DAMWON Gaming needs some way to pick and pry them apart. And they can't just do Baron, because Vel'Koz, from the safety of his red side jungle, he can shoot over the wall.
Yeah.
He's going to have a Disintegration Ray that it will AoE everyone. Gangplank ultimate inside of a Baron pit. Everything's disastrous, and so I outlined this from the pick ban. DWG Gaming are behind now in this game.
Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, that lead that you were talking about that's required for DWG's composition to be truly ahead is slipping further and further out of their reach. And this is once again, DWG being caught out. You can see they're not the aggressors. They need to be the aggressors, but Peanut playing this so beautifully. Fly flashing out, gets the zoomies, stays alive thanks to Life, who's just bouncing around his teammates as this hella mobile medic for the GenG squad.
Nuclear played really cautious inside of that team fight, not wanting to expend his flash. Even if he gotten kills and got the mid-tier 1 turret, the mid-tier 1 turret isn't a large enough win. Sure, you get the gold, you get surrounding vision. The surrounding vision isn't really all that important because the concept still remains that DAMWON cannot just simply start the Baron and burst it. After they get this Cloud Dragon, or assumed that they're going to get the 3rd Cloud Dragon, they would really like to roll another mount.
See whether they can actually get it, but that is in a minute and a half's time. Infinity Edge completed from Nuclear, so we're looking at actual real item spikes to come in, and now you can see they're not going to be able to defend this outer turret any longer. So DAMWON, that is going to be the tick, the first tick in the column of the things that they need to do. Breaking the outer turret mid lane, very important for a composition like this that wants to be able to get into your jungle. Is what? Okay, that's a flashy play, Ruler. Sometimes you want to put the fear into your opponent by just flashing.
Okay.
You know?
No?
You can see Ruler's face right here. He's like, yeah, no, it's calculated.
Break it down for me. Oh, they're going to try to 2-man.
Yeah, well, now that there's no flash on the Kai'Sa, may as well just
isn't that weird? That's really strange how a skill shot can check. That's
pretty useful.
That is definitely bizarre.
In amongst 3 people, World Ender, Flash, going to get out. But what he was doing there in the first place is the big question, one that we're not going to know.
I love this kind of gameplay out of GenG.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it. I just talked about it in a recent video.
Oh yeah? Well, what was that video?
You know what? The name's not quite coming to me. I made it, but...
I mean, you are LS, aka Lane State, so I think you should probably remember.
There you go.
AKA Lane is stuck.
Lane stuck.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, I think that's a clue.
Lane stall.
That's a little clue that I have for you about what your video was about, considering that you may have forgotten.
Well, DWG, let's see what they roll. What are you guessing? Mountain?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said that a little bit too late, but I couldn't be bothered thinking about it. Next one is going to be that Mountain Drake, though, that you were talking about, and that's going to mean double Mountain plus 3 clouds, meaning a lot of movement speed. But DWG go for the reset afterwards. It was GenG in the Baron pit, but they decide not to actually stick around and complete the buff.
Do you ever notice how Aatrox with the skin sort of looks like a skinny Thanos?
No, I
you see
didn't
that?
think- Yeah, I understand though.
You like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
See how that works,
He's
right?
got a sword instead of a gauntlet.
Oh,
Look at
but
that. They just walk in there and they're looking to murder this Drake. This Baron.
and GenG, they have blue trinket. They have blue trinket. They're
That was the most nonchalant Baron take I have ever seen.
You know what, Atlas? They just did Baron.
Yeah, they just did it.
They walked up to it.
They just
did it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they do have a lot of damage, but I wasn't expecting them to evaporate it that quickly. And I wasn't expecting GenG to just do absolutely nothing.
I'm curious because GenG knows that they had just gone and captured the Cloud Dragon, so they had a rough idea of where everyone was going to be. And then everyone on DAMWON disappeared from the map. So that would have given GenG enough time to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah.
That maybe they should try to
Nuguri
check.
didn't even use the Realm Warp, which is the classic way that you sneak Barons.
Yeah.
He didn't even invest it.
Flyad Blue Trinket, didn't even use it.
What?
And now, with the Baron, we have about an 8,000 gold lead, and those Baron enhanced minions. These are the exact things.
Oh, Peanut not going to be able to find the abscond this time as Ruler jumps on over and finds Canyon. The Realm Warp is going to be enough, though. After that, CC wasn't there, and that is going to open the doors for DAMWON. The 1-2-2 was their plan. They take down the inner turret in the mid lane. That is the last remaining inner. 6 turrets to 0 now in favor of DAMWON. The perfect structure game and neutral objective game on the table for DAMWON, only dropping 5 kills so far. And we went from a 2,000 gold lead for the majority of this game to a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
That just, it's boop, boop, and then it's,
Oh.
oh god, wow. Not even going to land the slow as Canyon misses his ultimate there in solidarity for Peanut. As Nuclear throwing autos into this inhibitor turret and does take it down. Another cleanse has to be used. Ruler now without that summoner spell. His flash not on cooldown just yet either. GenG not with a lot of resources, and look at how much damage this Rise does to the turret. His full AP Rise build is terrifying as he doesn't have another Realm Warp and is going to get taken down. No! BeryL swallows him whole, but spits him out to his death. Disintegration Ray coming in here as double kill for Ruler. Canyon, Arctic Assault over the wall.
They held on.
Yeah, they did it. And DAMWON weren't able to capitalize elsewhere.
All right,
Top inhibitor turret survives.
Let me tell you now, okay?
Tell me now.
We have an almost even game. DAMWON Gaming still have a slight edge.
Yep.
But it's almost an even game.
Okay.
So as long as GenG push out the side lanes and manage them correctly, and we get to have a proper team fight, because DAMWON, they're they're amplified by the triple Cloud Dragon, but if GenG can basically death ball and demand that they come to them, there's a chance GenG gets the mountain, and then there's a real fight for the next Baron. I mean, in the replay here, what is Canyon and BeryL doing? Trying to come to the aid of this Rise.
Well, I mean, they're dying is what they're doing. It was a mistake for these guys. Still, relatively new team in DAMWON. You expect that there are going to be some mistakes in their gameplay. That being said, this is not the way that they played against SKT. That was really clean League of Legends throughout that series. Bit of a whoopsie there, but they have played the rest of the game relatively well.
Yeah.
Nuguri's got himself a really cool hat. He actually had an Aether Wisp, but sold that with his Fiendish Codex, wants the extra CDR instead.
Why does Velopass have...
That's because ShowMaker exists, and we've seen what Aatrox can do. I actually respect Morellonomicon in this game. Thick Skin also. I don't mind it. Double lifesteal on your AD carry. There are reasons.
I'm angry.
I think there's a reason.
Okay.
I don't think your anger is entirely warranted this time around. Sometimes you just hate the Morellonomicon, as ShowMaker is split pushing on the top side.
CuVee was very late to respond, so...
Yeah, Spooky Ghosts, I don't think are going to get too much slowing done either, as the geometry is not going to find the mark, so... ShowMaker does draw the attention of CuVee. No Cannon Barrage, as ShowMaker now in position for a flank. As the Mountain Drake is available, this should mean that the Baron coming up in a minute and a half is going to be even easier for DAMWON to take. especially considering the lack of teleports on the side of GenG. They see GenG in a different lane and it's not Gangplank. They know that they have a man advantage around Baron. That is just a guarantee. As Peanut looks for another ultimate, doesn't find it there onto Nuclear, who stands in the final chapter. A lot of damage, but another fantastic Devour comes in. Canyon gonna get spat out over the other side. Vel'Koz, yes, you're right. A lot of damage, but unable to actually get any kills.
And so this is going to cause both teams to go back and recollect themselves. The cooldowns, though, on GenG,
and also
very short on the major ones.
The timing, though, is pretty good for DAMWON. As, okay, Ruler's just going to get obliterated. Nuguri, so much damage, the double kill! As the you and me is just not going to do it. The teleports come down to protect Nuguri, but he wipes 2 people out, 1 versus 3!
And I think this is the end of the game. They're going to be able to, at the very worst, get 2 inhibitors, then they get the Baron. But
do they even need the Baron? I think they just walk in and obliterate these turrets. Nuguri, if he auto-attacks the turret, does about 1 trillion damage, as you can see, as CuVee in trouble. ShowMaker diving on in, not able to land the first knock-up, but the Nexus is now getting wiped out. Nuguri and Nuclear will have enough damage to take it down, but now they're looking for some kills. Canyon tanking the fountain for a while as Nuguri gets a cheeky kill off the back end, and that is what happens when the Fed Rise takes control.
Well, that was a very anticlimactic ending.
It was a really anticlimactic, very climactic ending.
Yeah.
You know,
what do we call that?
You know how you were talking about your action-packed, low-action game the other day?
Yes.
It's very similar to that, because that was a massively huge play that completely altered what was a very interesting game state to the point where DAMWON just instantly win off 1 play. And we didn't even see the beginning of it. We panned over to Nuguri murdering Ruler in the face of 2 of his allies, and then picking up an extra kill off the back end and surviving. It was some extremely impressive Rise gameplay out of this guy, and that's how the Rise goes this time around. That you build full AP and you hope you don't get bursted, is how it works. And man, Nuguri made it look real good.
Well, I'm hoping that we get to see a replay of that.
Do you know what, though?
What?
I think that there's almost a guarantee that Nuguri is going to get the MVP. And that will mean... Where is Nuguri? Where is he? Having a look down the list of the MVP list.
In the coach box.
I know he's in the... Don't be being silly. Stop being silly. He only has 500 points, so he's going to go up to 600. He's well behind anybody else. So here for the regular season, it's still Canyon looking like he's going to be in a good spot. But ShowMaker, if he gets MVP for Game 2, we've got a 3-way tie.
Ooh.
And also no one on Hanwha Life or Griffin can actually catch up.
What you're saying is that in the very next game, Canyon's going to take a playmaking
Well, I mean,
jungle.
If he wants to get the first 3-way tie MVP, then they're going to have to, as this is the big play that ended the game. Nuguri, yeah, he did get knocked up by the tectonic disruption, but that was way too late. He'd already put everybody else in the ground. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's a bit.
How close to impressed are we? Teetering? Are we teetering?
I'd give it a 2.
2 out of 3?
Out of 20.
Whoa. I mean, why didn't you just say 1 out of 10? Come on, man.
Come on.
I don't know why I have to give
I don't do fractions.
I know the difficult fractions. What the heck is this? Man, what the heck was that game, too? I mean, my God. Really impressive stuff out of Nuguri. Surprise, surprise. I have a feeling he's going to be getting that MVP, and we are going to be going to a game number 2. GenG with a chance to send us to a tiebreaker still. We'll see whether they can even things out after the break.
아 카이 나 자르러 온다.
나이스.
아 나이스. 야 이거 끝내러 가볼래?
야,
야,
빼봐.
그거.
와봐.
들어갈게.
야, 대천다. 야, 뭐야?
야 끝내러 가.
오 큰일 날 뻔했다. 나집 갔다 텔타게 끝나자. 이거 벨코즈 못 맞게 그거 뭐 좀 해. 나 텔타게
야야 원복 큐 프리
앞으로 가
앞으로
앞으로
가.
가.
필요 없어.
너 드라인 떠낼 수도 있거든.
못 끝내나?
아니.
내가 궁도 있거든.
야 벨코즈 그냥
세주가.
막아봐. 세주가
막아,
벨코즈 그냥 들이박아.
타워.
갱 해볼게. 넥서스. 나이스. 나이스.